The research vessel Orion's Reach drifted silently in orbit above the emerald and gold surface of Zyphora. Its hull reflected the faint glow of distant stars, casting patterns of light over the crew gathered in the observation deck. Among them was Lyra, a linguist and explorer with a sharp mind and curiosity that never seemed to tire. She leaned forward, her eyes scanning the detailed holographic maps projected in front of her. Zyphora's surface was dotted with ruins, many half buried in the planet's shifting sands, but this particular formation had drawn the team's attention for weeks. Lyra's gaze shifted to Eli, the ship's engineer. He stood quietly near the edge of the observation deck, hands tucked into his pockets, his expression calm and neutral. Eli had always been gentle, quiet, and careful in everything he did. He rarely spoke unless it was necessary, and when he did, his words were measured and thoughtful. Most of the crew considered him harmless. Lyra herself had always felt a sense of ease around him, never imagining that someone like Eli could ever play a role in the extraordinary. "Lyra, the scans are stable," said Dr. Marn, the team's geologist, tapping on the console. "But the structure below us, it's unlike anything we've cataloged before. The walls are etched with symbols that predate recorded human history." Lyra leaned closer, examining the holographic projection of the ruins. The symbols were intricate, flowing lines that seemed to shimmer under the simulated sunlight of the scanner. She felt a thrill in her chest. Ancient human civilizations had left traces scattered across galaxies. But many of the inscriptions were thought to be too old or too advanced for modern humans to understand. "Could it be a message?" Lyra asked softly. Dr. Marn shrugged. "Possibly, or a map, or something we can't even imagine yet." The ship's engines hummed as the captain prepared a descent to the surface. Lyra's excitement grew, but she couldn't ignore a strange feeling in the pit of her stomach. Something about this place felt alive. The landing was smooth, the Orion's Reach settling among the ruins without disturbing the delicate structures around it. Dust swirled in the thin atmosphere, golden in the light of Zyphora's sun. Lyra stepped onto the ground, her boots crunching softly on the fine sand. She adjusted her gloves and examined the towering walls ahead. The symbols carved into them pulsed faintly, as though they recognized the presence of life. Eli followed behind, quiet as ever, his hands resting on the straps of his tool belt. He paused in front of a particularly large etching, a pattern shaped like concentric rings surrounding a small humanoid figure. Lyra noticed that Eli's eyes lingered on the symbol longer than anyone else's. "Eli," she said gently, "be careful. We don't know what this is." Eli turned to her with a small, reassuring smile. "I know. I just feel like it's calling me, that's all." Lyra frowned but nodded. There was something in his voice that suggested more than curiosity, a subtle awareness, a quiet confidence she hadn't noticed before. The team approached the central chamber of the ruins, a vast hall covered in carvings. The walls were alive with patterns that seemed to shift as they moved closer, almost as if they were reacting to their presence. Lyra's pulse quickened. This was no ordinary ruin. This was a repository, a record of human history that had somehow survived the eons. "Let's document everything," Dr. Marn said. "We'll need to scan the walls and map the inscriptions before touching anything." Lyra was about to reply when Eli stepped forward, his hand hovering over one of the glowing symbols. Everyone froze. "Eli, wait!" Lyra exclaimed. But Eli didn't stop. His fingers traced the concentric rings carefully, as if reading a language only he could understand. A low hum filled the chamber, vibrating through the stone beneath their feet. The walls pulsed brighter, revealing new layers of carvings and patterns hidden beneath the surface. Lyra's eyes widened. This isn't just decoration. It's a map. And it's responding to him." Eli's hand moved in a slow, deliberate motion, and the symbols on the wall shifted to form a holographic projection. A three-dimensional star chart hovered above the center of the chamber, each point of light representing a distant world. Lines connected them, forming paths and routes that seemed almost too complex to comprehend. This is incredible, Dr. Marn whispered, stepping closer. These star systems, some of them were thought to be uninhabitable. How did they know about them? Lyra turned to Eli, her mind racing. Do you understand what's happening? Eli looked back at her, his usual calm demeanor now mixed with awe. I think so. The symbol, it's meant to be activated by someone like me, someone who isn't seeking power, someone who is human in thought, not ambition. Lyra blinked. Human in thought? Eli nodded. The ancient humans who left these symbols, they designed them to recognize traits beyond knowledge. They look for curiosity, for humility, for the willingness to explore without harming. That's why I was able to activate it. Others wouldn't have triggered anything. The chamber shimmered as more holographic layers unfolded. Scenes from the past appeared, showing humans venturing across star systems, building structures, and leaving behind messages for future generations. Lyra realized that this was not just a map. It was a chronicle of human potential, a record of what humans could achieve when guided by wisdom and creativity. She felt a surge of excitement, mixed with a hint of fear. If this falls into the wrong hands, she began, but Eli placed a hand gently on her shoulder. Then we make sure it doesn't, he said calmly. We are the ones who found it first. We can protect it. Lyra studied him, seeing him in a new light. The quiet, harmless engineer was no longer just a member of the team. He had become the key to unlocking something incredible, something that could change the way humans understood themselves and their place in the galaxy. As they explored further, Eli continued to interact with the symbols, and the holographic projections revealed more information. There were schematics of ancient devices, maps of distant worlds, and even hints of knowledge lost to time. Lyra could hardly believe what she was seeing. Every layer they uncovered showed humans as explorers, inventors, and dreamers capable of feats that seemed impossible even by modern standards. Dr. Marn examined the symbols carefully. These carvings, they're not just advanced, they're alive. They're teaching us, step by step, if we know how to read them. And apparently, Eli knows how. Eli remained humble, guiding the team without boastfulness. The symbols respond to thought, not force. They want us to learn, to solve puzzles, to use our minds. That's what the ancient humans valued most. Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. The team uncovered rooms filled with holographic projections, each revealing new aspects of human history and technology. Lyra marveled at the ingenuity of the ancients. They had built devices that could harness energy from stars, communication tools capable of spanning light years, and intricate networks designed to teach future generations. The most startling revelation came when Eli activated a particularly large symbol near the center of the chamber. A golden light burst forth, filling the hall. The holographic projection formed a map to an uncharted star system, one that seemed to hold the promise of new knowledge and discovery. Lyra gasped. This is beyond anything we imagined. Eli, you've done it. You've opened a door to something greater than ourselves. Eli looked at the projection, his eyes reflecting the light. I didn't do it alone. Humanity did this long ago. We're just the ones who can understand it now. As the sun of Zyphora began to set, casting long shadows across the ruins, the team gathered to study the projections. They knew their discovery would change the course of human exploration forever. And at the center of it all stood Eli, the quiet, unassuming engineer whose gentle nature had unlocked a legacy of intelligence, wisdom, and hope. Lyra watched him and felt a profound respect. She realized that being harmless didn't mean being weak. Eli's kindness, patience, and careful thought had allowed humanity's voice from the past to reach them. And perhaps, she thought, it was exactly this kind of human spirit that would carry them to the stars. As the night deepened, the symbols continued to glow faintly, almost as if they were breathing. Eli remained near the center, tracing lines with his fingers, activating new projections that none of them could have imagined. And Lyra understood that their journey had only just begun. Somewhere among the uncharted stars, the ancient humans had left more than knowledge. They had left a challenge, a call to humanity to rise, explore, and understand its potential. And Eli, once thought harmless, had answered that call. The Orion's reach cut through the velvet darkness of space, leaving Zephora behind as a small green and gold marble in the distance. Lyra sat in the observation deck, eyes fixed on the holographic star chart projected before her. The system Eli had activated from the ancient human symbol now guided them toward an uncharted cluster of stars, a place no human ship had ever reached. Eli sat beside her, calm as ever, hands folded neatly. The soft hum of the ship was almost soothing, but beneath it, excitement thrummed in Lyra's chest. She had spent years studying ancient human artifacts, but never had she felt such a mixture of awe and anticipation. Something about the star chart seemed alive, as if it were calling them forward. "Are you sure this map is safe?" Lyra asked. Her voice carried a trace of worry, though she tried to hide it. Eli turned his gaze toward her, his calm eyes reflecting the starlight. "Safe is relative," he said with a quiet smile. "But it's meant for us. The ancient humans designed it to guide someone with the right mind and intentions. That's why it responded to me." Lyra studied him, realizing that the quiet, almost timid engineer had now become their key to discovery. She had always thought of him as harmless, but harmless had never seemed so important. Dr. Marn interrupted her thoughts, stepping into the observation deck. "We're approaching the system," he said, pointing to the holographic display. "Sensors are picking up unusual energy readings. They're weak, but constant. Something is there, waiting." Lyra's heartbeat quickened. "Waiting for us?" she whispered. Eli leaned forward, his fingers brushing across the holographic chart. "Possibly," he said, "or perhaps waiting for someone human, someone who can understand what we're about to see." The crew donned their exploration suits as the ship entered the outer reaches of the uncharted system. Stars reflected off the ship's hull as they passed asteroids and rings of dust, each celestial object untouched by human presence. Lyra's mind raced with possibilities. This system could hold lost human technology, knowledge, or even new forms of life. As they neared the source of the energy readings, the viewports revealed a massive crystalline structure orbiting a small, rocky planet. Its surface shimmered like 1,000 diamonds, reflecting starlight in dazzling patterns. Lyra felt her breath catch. "It's beautiful," she said softly. "I've never seen anything like it." Eli nodded, moving closer to the view. "The symbols led us here. I think this structure contains knowledge, perhaps even more than we saw on Zephora." Dr. Marn checked the sensors. "The readings are strong. The structure emits energy, but it's stable. Nothing hazardous detected. But it's strange. The energy is almost like it's alive." The team landed the ship on the planet below, careful to avoid disturbing the rocky terrain. As they approached the crystalline structure, Lyra noticed something extraordinary. The crystal surface was not solid. It seemed to shift and respond to their movements. Patterns glimmered and flowed like liquid light, hinting at a hidden intelligence. "Look at that," Dr. Marn said. It's almost as if it's aware of us. Eli stepped forward, as if drawn by an unseen force. He reached out, and as his fingers brushed the crystalline surface, the structure pulsed gently. Light rippled across the panels, forming new symbols that glowed brighter than before. Lyra gasped. "It's reacting to you again, Eli." He nodded slowly, studying the symbols. "It recognizes human thought, and it seems to recognize mine." The team followed him inside a small entryway that opened seamlessly, as if welcoming them. The interior was a vast hall filled with floating panels of light, each projecting scenes from human history across galaxies. Ancient humans appeared, exploring planets, building cities, and leaving messages for future generations. Lyra moved from projection to projection, fascinated. "These records, they're like the ones on Zephora, but so much more advanced. They're showing us everything. How humans lived, learned, and explored in the past." Eli guided them to a central chamber, where a large crystalline panel stood like a gateway. Symbols glowed faintly across its surface, responding to Eli's presence. When he touched them, a wave of light filled the hall, revealing a holographic message in ancient human script. Lyra and Dr. Marn leaned closer. The message slowly translated into modern human language, showing a group of humans from thousands of years ago. They spoke of their mission to explore the stars, to leave knowledge for those who came after, and to inspire future generations to rise above limitations. "It's incredible," Lyra whispered. "They left this for us, for humanity. And they trusted that someone would find it." Eli's calm voice broke the silence. They wanted someone who could unlock it without using force, someone who could think, understand, and guide others. That's why it reacted to me. Lyra studied him, feeling a sense of awe. Eli had always been quiet, almost invisible, but now she realized that his patience, careful thinking, and humility were exactly what the ancient humans valued. As they explored further, Eli activated another symbol, revealing a projection of a distant star system. The system glowed, showing planets, moons, and paths that seemed designed for exploration. Lyra felt a thrill of discovery. This was more than a map. It was a roadmap for humanity's future. "Do you see that?" Eli said. "These paths, they're not random. They're guiding us to something important. Something that humans need to find." Dr. Marn nodded. "It's amazing. The ancients, they were thinking thousands of years ahead. They planned for people like us to discover this." Lyra's mind raced. "We need to follow it. We need to see where it leads. But first, we should study it carefully. There could be dangers we don't understand yet." Eli's calm expression reassured her. "The symbols will guide us. We just need to listen and understand. That's all they want." Hours passed as the team examined the structure. Each symbol Eli activated revealed new knowledge: schematics for energy devices, communication tools capable of interstellar reach, and even hints at technologies that could enhance human potential. Lyra marveled at the ingenuity. They didn't just leave a map. They left instructions, teaching us how to use what they discovered. It's a guide to becoming better humans, smarter humans." Eli nodded. "They wanted us to reach our potential without causing harm. The symbols reward intelligence, cooperation, and curiosity. That's why aggression or greed never works. Only thoughtful action does." As night fell on the planet, the team gathered in the central chamber. Light from the crystals reflected across the walls, casting dancing shadows. The holographic map projected from the central panel pulsed softly, as if alive. Lyra looked at Eli. You are more important than I ever realized. The symbol led us to you for a reason. It needed someone like you to unlock everything." Eli shrugged, a hint of a smile on his face. I'm just doing what feels right. The symbols guide us. We don't need to control them. We just need to understand. Dr. Marn studied the projections carefully. Eli, you may not realize it, but you've unlocked something incredible. Not just for us, but for all of humanity. These records, this knowledge, it's more than exploration. It's a message, a reminder that humans can achieve greatness when we work together and think wisely. Lyra felt a surge of hope. And we can share it. We can bring this knowledge to everyone. Imagine what humans could accomplish if we followed these teachings. Eli remained quiet, but his gentle smile reflected the pride of someone who had just unlocked a hidden legacy. He had always been harmless in appearance, but now Lyra saw that harmlessness did not mean weakness. It meant thoughtfulness, patience, and the ability to guide others without force, exactly the qualities the ancient humans had valued. As they prepared to leave the planet and follow the star chart to the next system, the crystalline structure pulsed one final time. Light expanded outward, projecting a beacon into space, a signal of human potential reaching across the stars. Lyra watched it, feeling a sense of awe and responsibility. This beacon, it's a message to the galaxy to show that humans can rise above challenges, explore wisely, and share knowledge. Eli's hand brushed hers gently as they watched the light fade into the distance. We are the ones who answer the call, he said softly. Not through force, not through power, but through understanding, curiosity, and cooperation. That's what the ancient humans wanted us to do. The Orion's reach lifted off from the planet, leaving the crystalline structure behind, but its lessons stayed with them. Lyra reflected on everything they had learned. Humans were more than explorers. They were custodians of knowledge, guardians of potential, and beacons of hope in a vast, mysterious galaxy. And Eli, once thought harmless, had shown her the true power of quiet strength, proving that even the gentlest mind could unlock the greatest mysteries of the universe. As the ship sped toward the next system, Lyra felt the thrill of adventure, the weight of responsibility, and a new sense of wonder. The ancient human symbol had guided them here, and now it was their task to follow its path, unlock the knowledge it held, and prove that humanity's spirit was truly extraordinary. The stars stretched before them, endless and full of promise, and the journey of discovery had only just begun. The Orion's reach glided through the void, the distant stars stretching like ribbons of light ahead. Lyra sat in the observation deck, studying the latest data from the crystalline structure they had discovered on the last planet. The star chart projected from Eli's activation of the ancient human symbol now guided them toward an uncharted system filled with faint energy signatures. Eli stood beside her, calm and composed as ever, eyes reflecting the light from the holographic displays. Despite his quiet nature, there was a confidence in him now that Lyra had never seen before. The ancient symbol had awakened something, not just in the structures they had found, but within him as well. Look at this, Dr. Marn said, tapping the console. These energy readings, they're fluctuating in patterns, almost like a message. Someone or something left them intentionally. Lyra leaned closer, excitement mingled with curiosity. A message? From whom? Not sure yet, Dr. Marn admitted. But whatever it is, it's ancient, and it resonates with human energy. Eli studied the projections. The symbols on Zephora and the crystalline structure, they weren't just maps or archives, they were tests. They respond to humans who act thoughtfully without aggression. Perhaps these energy signals are another layer of the same challenge. Lyra nodded slowly. A test? Or a puzzle? And only humans can solve it? Eli smiled faintly. Only humans with patience and understanding. The ancient creators knew that knowledge without thought is dangerous. That's why they designed it this way. The crew prepared the ship for entry into the new system. The sensors detected a cluster of planets surrounding a golden star, each planet radiating faint energy patterns. As they approached, the energy signals intensified, converging toward a massive asteroid-like structure in the heart of the system. Its surface shimmered faintly, as though alive. "Looks like the signals are coming from there," Dr. Marn said. "We'll need to land carefully." The Orion's reach descended slowly, settling on a flat plateau near the structure. As the crew disembarked, the asteroid's surface seemed to ripple under their feet, responding to their movements. Lyra's excitement grew. This was unlike anything they had encountered before. The structure seemed to recognize their presence. Eli approached the asteroid, his fingers brushing against the surface. The energy signals pulsed, and faint symbols began to glow across the stone-like surface. The symbols shifted, revealing geometric patterns intertwined with glowing lines, a language of light that seemed almost musical. "It's responding to you again," Lyra whispered. "Why only you?" Eli shrugged slightly. "The ancient humans designed this to recognize thought and empathy, not strength or dominance. My mind, or perhaps my approach, resonates with their design." Lyra's respect for him deepened. The quiet, gentle engineer was no longer just harmless. He was a key to unlocking humanity's potential. As they explored the structure, the symbols led them inside a vast chamber filled with floating crystalline panels, each projecting light in ever-changing patterns. Some projections depicted humans venturing across galaxies, building civilizations, and leaving behind records for future generations. Others showed abstract patterns, mathematical equations, and energy flows that seemed impossible to understand at first glance. Dr. Marn studied the projections. "It's incredible. These aren't just archives, they're teaching us. Each panel contains lessons in energy, cooperation, and exploration." Eli nodded, moving to a central panel. As he touched it, the chamber responded, light streaming outward to reveal a three-dimensional puzzle floating in midair. The puzzle consisted of shifting blocks of light, rotating and changing shape as if testing their understanding. Lyra stared at it. "It's a challenge. We have to solve it to proceed." Eli's calm demeanor reassured the team. "The symbols are designed to respond to thought, not force. We need to approach it carefully, together." They began working on the puzzle. At first, the blocks shifted unpredictably, changing faster than they could follow. But Eli's gentle guidance helped them notice patterns. The way certain shapes responded to angles, the rhythm of the shifting blocks, and the subtle feedback in the glowing symbols. Slowly, they learned to move the pieces in harmony. "This is amazing," Lyra whispered as the last block clicked into place. The chamber pulsed with light, and a hidden doorway opened, revealing another level deeper inside the structure. Eli led the team through the doorway, where they discovered a central core of energy, a glowing sphere suspended in midair, surrounded by symbols that shimmered in intricate patterns. The core seemed to react to their thoughts, responding to intention and focus. Lyra stepped closer, marveling at its beauty. "It's like it's alive, and it wants us to understand it." Eli extended his hand, fingers hovering just above the sphere. "The ancient humans designed it to teach, to guide. And now it's responding to us." As he touched the core, a wave of light spread through the chamber, projecting visions of humanity's potential. Humans were shown traveling among stars, building civilizations not through conquest, but through understanding, creativity, and cooperation. Lyra felt a surge of inspiration. This was more than discovery. It was a glimpse of what humans could become. Dr. Marn's voice was filled with awe. "They wanted us to see this, to know that humans are capable of more than we imagine. And it's responding to Eli because he embodies the traits they valued most." Lyra glanced at him, realizing that harmlessness was not weakness. Eli's quiet nature, patience, and thoughtfulness allowed him to unlock the secrets the ancients had hidden for centuries. Suddenly, the chamber's light dimmed, replaced by a soft blue glow. Symbols around the core shifted, forming patterns that resembled maps and star routes, but also strange energy conduits. The projections now seemed interactive, requiring the team to manipulate light flows and align symbols in precise ways. "This is a higher-level puzzle," Eli said. "It's testing us, but not just our minds. It's testing how we work together. The symbols respond to cooperation as much as intelligence." Lyra and the team carefully followed his instructions. Each adjustment caused the energy patterns to shift, opening new paths and revealing deeper layers of the structure. The work was slow, meticulous, but rewarding. Every time they succeeded, the projections revealed more advanced knowledge and deeper understanding of the universe. Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. The team moved as one, guided by Eli's calm reasoning. Each success brought a new revelation: methods to harness energy without harm, ways to communicate across vast distances, and even insights into advanced technologies that could improve life across human civilizations. Finally, the last layer of the puzzle aligned, and the core of energy expanded, projecting a beacon of light into the stars, far beyond the uncharted system. Lyra watched it in awe. "It's sending a signal," she whispered, "a message to the galaxy. To other civilizations, perhaps, but also to humans. A reminder of what we can achieve." Eli nodded. The ancients wanted humanity to see this, to understand that our potential is greater than we realize, and that true strength lies not in force, but in thought, cooperation, and creativity. Dr. Marn studied the projections one last time. "Eli, you've done something extraordinary. You've unlocked knowledge that can guide humans for generations. And you did it with patience, humility, and understanding. That's what they valued, and that's why it worked." Lyra looked at Eli with renewed respect. "I thought you were harmless," she said softly, "but harmlessness, it's more powerful than I ever imagined. You've shown that quiet thoughtfulness can achieve what force and ambition cannot." Eli smiled faintly. "I didn't do it alone. Humanity created this legacy. We are just the ones capable of understanding it now." As the team prepared to leave the asteroid structure, the energy core pulsed one final time, leaving a trail of light in space that stretched across the system. Lyra felt hope, excitement, and a profound sense of responsibility. They had not only discovered a treasure of human knowledge, but they had also learned a lesson in human potential, that cooperation, intelligence, and humility could unlock wonders no one had imagined. The Orion's reach lifted off, leaving the crystalline structure behind. Lyra watched it shrink in the distance, thinking of the civilizations that had come before them and the ones they could inspire in the future. Eli stood beside her, calm as ever. "Our journey isn't over," he said. "The symbols will guide us to more knowledge, more understanding, and every step we take proves that humans are capable of extraordinary things." Lyra nodded, smiling. "Then let's see where they want us to go next. Humanity's story is far from finished." The ship accelerated into the stars, leaving the beacon of light behind. Somewhere in the distance, new worlds awaited discovery, challenges to solve, and knowledge to unlock. And at the center of it all stood Eli, once thought harmless, now revealed as a guide to humanity's future, showing that the gentlest mind can illuminate the greatest mysteries. And so, their journey continued, with the galaxy stretching endlessly ahead, filled with possibilities, wonder, and the promise of human greatness. The Orion's reach soared through the void, leaving the glowing crystalline structure behind. Lyra watched the stars streak past, thinking about everything they had discovered. Each new system, each projection from the symbols, had revealed the vast potential of humanity. Yet the further they traveled, the more she realized that this was not just about knowledge. It was about responsibility. Eli stood quietly beside her, as calm as ever, eyes reflecting the stars. He had grown in a way Lyra could hardly describe. His gentle, unassuming nature had unlocked ancient human secrets. And now he carried the weight of that discovery with a quiet dignity. He had become the key to humanity's future. "Do you ever wonder," Lyra said softly, "what will happen when other civilizations see what we've discovered?" Eli's gaze remained steady. They might be curious. They might even come to observe. But the symbols were designed to guide humans. Whatever comes, we can learn from it without fear. The ancients believed in wisdom, not dominance. As if on cue, the ship's sensors picked up distant signals. They were faint, rhythmic, and unlike anything recorded before. Lyra's heart quickened. Someone, or something, is watching us. Dr. Marn entered the deck, excitement and curiosity evident in his voice. The signals are artificial, but ancient, possibly left by other civilizations that observed humans in the past, or perhaps by the ancients themselves. Eli approached the console, analyzing the signals. They're not hostile. They seem to respond to the energy we released from the core on the last planet, almost like they're curious, waiting to see what we do next. Lyra smiled. Then let's show them what humans are capable of, not with force, but with understanding. The ship followed the signals to a nearby star system, where they discovered a network of floating crystalline beacons, similar to the one on the last planet, but larger and more intricate. Each beacon pulsed with energy, projecting holographic messages and maps. The team realized that they were part of a galactic network, a web of knowledge created to guide intelligent species, but specifically designed to respond to human traits. Eli stepped forward, touching one of the beacons. Immediately, light rippled across the network, revealing the history of human exploration. Humans traveling to distant stars, discovering planets, and leaving knowledge for future generations. "This is incredible," Lyra said softly. "The ancients didn't just leave records. They created a system to show humans our potential, step by step." Eli nodded. "They designed it to reward patience, understanding, and cooperation. Anyone seeking power or selfish gain would fail. Only those with the right mindset, humans with curiosity and humility, could unlock it." The team spent days exploring the network, learning about ancient human technologies and philosophies. They discovered methods to harness clean energy from stars, ways to communicate across light years instantly, and designs for structures that could thrive in diverse planetary environments. Every discovery reinforced the HFY principle. Humans were capable of greatness when they used intelligence and compassion instead of force. One evening, as they studied a particularly complex beacon, Eli activated a hidden layer of the network. A holographic projection appeared, showing a distant galaxy filled with faint golden light. Within the galaxy, star systems were highlighted, potential worlds where humanity could expand, explore, and share knowledge peacefully. Dr. Marn gasped. "These are instructions. The ancients are guiding us to new worlds, worlds humans could inhabit or influence in positive ways." Lyra's eyes shone with excitement. "It's not just a map. It's a vision for humanity's future, a guide for how we can grow, explore, and inspire other civilizations." Eli's calm expression reflected his understanding. "And it works because we approach it without greed or ambition. The ancients designed this to show that human potential grows when we act wisely, thoughtfully, and together." As the team studied the projection, the signals from the galaxy network began to pulse rhythmically. Lyra noticed something remarkable. The pulses were synchronized with the beacon they had activated earlier, spreading across systems in a pattern that formed a human-shaped constellation in the holographic display. "It's symbolic," Lyra whispered. "The ancients are showing us that humans are meant to be the guardians of knowledge, explorers guided by thought and wisdom." Eli nodded. "Exactly. They wanted humans to see that we can achieve greatness without dominance. That's the core of our legacy." Suddenly, the sensors picked up movement, small, fast objects approaching the ship from the edge of the system. They were observers, seemingly curious rather than hostile. Eli studied them carefully. "They are not attacking. They are examining our actions. They've noticed the beacon we activated, and they are learning about humans, just as we have learned from the symbols." Lyra felt a thrill of wonder. So other civilizations are watching us, but they see humans differently now. They see that we can explore responsibly, use knowledge wisely, and solve puzzles without conflict. Dr. Marn smiled. "It's proof of what the ancients believed. Humans can rise above challenges and inspire others simply through understanding and intelligence." Eli touched the console, aligning their ship with the movement of the observers. "We need to respond calmly. Show them that humans are curious, cooperative, and capable of innovation without threat." Lyra agreed, realizing that their journey had shifted from discovery to demonstration, a chance to show the galaxy what humans could become. As they guided the observers through a series of interactive holographic projections, the alien entities reacted with glowing patterns of light, seemingly impressed by the humans' ability to solve complex puzzles, cooperate as a team, and navigate the ancient network. Eli's guidance was crucial. His calm, careful approach ensured that every interaction was precise and thoughtful. Hours passed, and the observers' movements grew synchronized with the humans' actions. The network's energy pulses expanded across the system, creating a wave of light visible even from distant stars. The team realized they had not just unlocked the ancient network, they had activated a beacon of human potential, a signal showing the galaxy that humans were capable of extraordinary achievements. Lyra turned to Eli. You were right. The ancients designed this for us, and we're proving that humans can live up to their expectations." Eli smiled faintly. "We've only just begun. There are more systems to explore, more knowledge to uncover, but this is proof that humans can rise to challenges with thought and care, not force." The observers lingered for a while longer, studying the humans' actions, then slowly retreated to the edges of the system. The Orion's reach followed the holographic instructions, guided by Eli and the star chart. The team felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had not only discovered ancient knowledge, but had demonstrated human ingenuity and cooperation to other civilizations. As they left the system, the beacon's light continued to pulse across the stars. Lyra looked at Eli, admiration shining in her eyes. "You thought you were harmless," she said softly, "but harmlessness was exactly what humanity needed. Your calm, thoughtful nature unlocked everything." Eli nodded, his expression quiet but proud. "It wasn't just me. Humanity built this legacy. We are only the ones who could understand and continue it." Dr. Marn joined them, excitement evident in his voice. "We've proven something today. Humans can explore, solve puzzles, and unlock ancient knowledge without aggression. That's something worth sharing with the galaxy." Lyra felt a surge of hope. "And we will. We'll continue this journey not for power or conquest, but to show that humans are capable of greatness through intelligence, curiosity, and cooperation." Eli looked out at the endless stars. "The ancients wanted us to lead by example, and now we have the chance to inspire, to explore, and to prove that humans are truly extraordinary." The ship accelerated into deep space, leaving the glowing beacon behind. Lyra reflected on everything they had learned. Humans were explorers, teachers, and guardians of knowledge. Their potential was limitless, not because of force or power, but because of wisdom, cooperation, and thoughtfulness. As the Orion's reach glided through the galaxy, the ancient symbols continued to guide them, revealing new systems, new puzzles, and new opportunities for discovery. The observers, now at a distance, continued to monitor the humans with curiosity and admiration, showing that Eli and the team had made an impact beyond their understanding. Lyra turned to Eli once more. "You were harmless." "Yes. But harmlessness doesn't mean weak. It means capable of unlocking the greatest mysteries with care and understanding. You've shown me and the galaxy what humans can truly achieve." Eli smiled faintly, the calm light in his eyes matching the stars around them. "We are all capable of it, Lyra. This is just the beginning." And so, humanity's journey continued, guided by ancient symbols, driven by curiosity, and illuminated by the quiet power of thought, cooperation, and understanding. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of challenges, knowledge, and wonder, and at the center of it all stood Eli, once thought harmless, now revealed as the key to humanity's greatest potential. The galaxy awaited, and humanity, led by thoughtfulness, courage, and wisdom, was ready to rise.